This is our introductory past life class in Unarius. Sorry we're a little bit behind, about 15 minutes delayed. We apologize for that, but over the next 4 Saturdays, we are going to explore the idea that you've lived before and how to use that information to help you in your life. And most importantly, how to use it spiritually, because everybody, whether you know it or not, is on a journey. And that journey is really spiritual biased or spiritually oriented. And you, as an individual, you live one life at a time through a series of lifetimes, either on this planet or another planet. And we call that progressive evolution. So everybody is a part of an evolutionary pattern that they have set up for themselves. Now the trick is, the challenge is, how do you find out what your mission is, where you've been before, and how to stay on that spiritual pathway? What do you think? What do you not think? What do you do? What do you not do? This is what Unarius specializes in. So I have the honor of doing the first class, which will focus mainly on energy, mass and energy. And if any of you at home, on the streaming, want to follow along, we have an excellent introductory PDF that is online. Go to unarius.org, click on the stream link, and there you'll see an introductory PDF that you can download and follow along. It's in here, right?
Yeah, it's some comment.
Yeah.
They may want to get a notebook to print it out and put it in, because we'll be adding materials each week.
So, some of the ladies here have prepared a little notebook, which is a very handy thing to have as you go along this course. This is entitled Exploring Your Past Lives. You can read all about cycles and how our life is permeated with cycles. Now, take the alternating current that comes out of our wall, called alternating current energy, right? What cycle is it? Does anybody know?
60.
60, yeah, 60 cycles per 1 second. In 1 second, there's 60 cycles. Okay? And if we want to look at that on an oscilloscope, everybody knows what an oscilloscope is? We just saw one on the video. It's a device that electronic technicians use to display on the screen energy, electrical energy. It could be a direct current energy from a battery, or it could be alternating as cycles. Cycles, right? So you could display that as a sine wave. But really, it's just a repeating motion, going and going and going over and over again, 60 times per second. That's alternating current. Okay? So each cycle, you can give it a polarity, like a plus and a minus, like a battery has a plus and a minus, right? Now the sun has a plus and a minus. It's the North Pole and the South Pole. Not very well known, but the planet Earth has a much more well-known North Pole and South Pole. They're all they have a polarity, like a battery, a plus and a minus, right? So, as is mentioned in the film, when you look at energy in the spiritual dimensions, where your psychic body exists, in the 4th dimension, so to speak, it's all cyclic. It repeats over and over again. So, if you were drowned in a previous lifetime, and you didn't want to be drowned, you didn't want to die, you had a family you were taking care of, and it was a shock to you because you had to abandon your family. That's a negative psychic shock to your mentality, that would happen, right? That would set up a negative cycle. You just initiated a negative cycle. Now, when you further incarnate into lifetimes, quite possibly you'll encounter that cycle where you drown. Tracy, you have any idea how you would encounter that in a future life?
how you would encounter
that same cycle of drowning. You might be attracted to what?
to water and
Water.
to boats,
Boats,
and to
sailing, the seashore.
living near the ocean or living near a river.
Yeah, you'd be attracted to that, and you would, in your mind, you would say, you know what? I just love the energy of an ocean or a river. You know, it's just so peaceful. I feel like I'm next to God or something, right? And then you go out sailing in your boat or your canoe or whatever, and you encounter something that, wow, why am I so fearful? It's like I'm out of balance, I'm out of alignment with a normal, healthy peace of mind, right? So when you go through something like that, instead of reacting to it as fear, like, you know, like, why am I so fearful? And you lose your, for the moment, you lose what? Your equilibrium. And your mentality is thrown off. So, looking at it through the Unarius science of energy, the science of life, you just encounter that cycle again. Now, the question you might want to ask yourself is how many times have you encountered that cycle in all your previous lives? Where did it begin? So, if someone could give you a past life reading, or you got this all by yourself, by your own attunement to your own higher self, you got the information that, oh, I died in a previous, or maybe it was presented to you in a dream, that you died in a previous life, and I was with the very same person that I'm with now. What would you do with that information? How can you use that information to correct that situation?
Learn, see what happened, remember what happened in the dream or whatever, and just learn from it.
Exactly. Exactly. Now you're adding more information of a more intelligent, higher frequency nature, or information to your body. So instead of going along reacting to life, especially when it's negative and it impacts us in a negative way, we say, okay, stop. What's going on here? We need to analyze ourselves. This is called self-analysis. And then you can begin to cancel that energy out. So, you know the energy, according to that movie we just saw, lesson 3, energy is always moving. It's never static. It only appears static in atoms, right? So if that energy is moving, and you know that you're going to live in another lifetime, and you know that you don't want that energy to go with you in the future, then what you do is you cancel that energy out. So here is the uniqueness of past life therapy as taught by Unarius. It teaches you how to get rid of that energy.